Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Should the Steelers draft a center first? In my opinion, I think the Steelers should go with the center first in the draft. I know a lot of people are been saying a lot of things. The Steelers should trade the first round pick for a quarterback, and quarterback is a priority too as well to address. Quarterback, center, and right tackle are probably the top two ones in my opinion to address. Of course, linebacker will be up there too as well. Probably safety as well. Those are some of the top needs. What order you like to put them at? Those are some of the top needs the Steelers need to add to the team to bolster our roster back up to being a contender again. But you look at our team. A center position will go a long way. Adding that big time piece at the center position to be the core, the leader, the centerpiece of our line. We already added Bradley Jones last year. We added Isaiah Malu. James Daniels has been playing very good football over the past few years as well. Dan Moore is solid. They probably find a way to replace him. Put Bradley Jones in that spot to replace him on the left tackle, his original spot that he played. And then you draft the right tackle and see what happens probably too as well. But overall, on the team, offensive line has been getting better and better. We've seen Najee Harris and Jalen Warren play amazing football this season. So hopefully adding a center will bolster that up even more, especially with the new coach we have too as well, Arthur Smith, being offensive coordinator, who is heavily based on the run scheme, running that football, play action passes, the bootlegs, to be able to get your guys, your playmakers, the ball as well, especially from the backfield. So we're going to see a dynamic 1-2 punch between our backers in the backfield. But I think adding a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson, a guy who people have been raving about, the Steelers was in reports about. Coach Tomlin was talking to him during the senior day at the senior little bowl they had like that before they get off to the draft as well. He's 6'3", 320. Bulldozer, can bulldoze his way through, get to the next level and help in the rushing attack, pass blocking as well. He's also a guy who finishes with authority, finish strong as well, because a lot of the players don't like to play through the whistle. He played to the whistle. He go out there. He can be a driving force that impact that gritty old school style of football. We've seen the Oregon Ducks head coach go out there and you see how he was in those interviews and how he portrayed his message to his team and how he bring that old like toughness style. So his center and his players, a lot of his players from that team, they play very similar to the way he coaches as well. So he played very hard and tough. So he'd be a great addition to the team. Of course, another guy to the team would be like Cedric Van Pran from Georgia, another guy from Georgia. We've seen Darnell Washington on our team do pretty good. We've seen Bradley Jones on our team do pretty good as well. Good his first season as well, helped landscape and change the landscape of that team. Adding a guy like Cedric Van Pran to the roster as well. Imagine that. You have him at center. You have Bradley Jones as well. You have James Daniels. You have Sia Malu. You have Darnell Washington, who's not an offensive lineman, but he's kind of like the 6'0 lineman, like he called himself when he was at Georgia and last year in Pittsburgh, helping the rushing attack as well. We have Georgia players everywhere. And as long as they keep playing like this, the way they're playing and balling out, I keep adding them because they've been one of the best like organizations in college. They've been producing some of the best NFL stars today. Them and Alabama, probably top two ones you can think of, top of your head, who produce so many talents from different teams. You probably find an Alabama or Georgia player on everybody's team in the NFL this season. So adding one of those guys like that would be amazing. Of course, Jackson Power Johnson is probably the top priority. You know, he'd be a JPJ. Well, his nickname would be JPJ as well. So I don't know. I guess it'd go to JPJ when we have already, Junior, instead of, we can call him JPJ. I don't know, JPJ something. They probably find some type of nickname like that. They call him Jack or something like that. Jack 5. Jack 5 from Tekken, that big old robot. He'd be offensive line in the center. He's like 6'3", 320. Call him Jack 5. That'd be a nickname right there. But I think adding them to the mix would be great, of course. But we're gonna see where we kind of fall too. Like we don't know if a lot of teams are gunning for him. I think a lot of teams are gunning for him too, as well. Some teams that are in front of us that might need some bolster up their old line as well. So Cedric Van Pran would be another guy who's 6'4", 320. SVP would be cool to add to the team as well. Be a big dynamic force. And for a guy that size as well, he's big and stout and like a big brute. Like a tree, but he can move. He's very agile. Agile, gets to the next level, can move as well. And both of the guys, of course, everybody has weaknesses. Might say they might struggle sometimes on pass protection, being consistent with their footing and stuff like that. But that's stuff you can coach up. You see the talent there with these guys. These guys are very good, very talented, and very agile. And they're very versatile too in different schemes. And I think some of these guys can probably play different spots. Of course, their main spot is center, but a lot of the old linemen that come out the draft, they can play probably 4 positions. 3 positions, 4 positions, or all the positions on the line as well, be versatile just in case they need to be put in a certain spot on the team. So adding one of these guys to the roster will help the Steelers out a lot. I think offensive linemen particularly center, is the place to go. The first pick in the draft. And of course, you can look at quarterback as well. I don't think the Steelers would probably force themselves to get a quarterback in the first round, unless unless a guy like Jaden Daniels fall to you, or you're able to go up there and get him. I think a guy like that, or Drake May come fall down to you, you be able to get him. That would be probably suggestion for you to get those guys like that. Or you could probably wait to later rounds, because you got a guy in Milton who played for Tennessee, who's very good too. I think he'd be a nice addition to the team, and he might not be a top first round pick or second round pick. He might fall in the late third round, mid third round, or fourth round pick. But you probably can find a way to get him, add him to the team, let him sit behind and develop a little bit. He has a lot of versatility as well. A mobile quarterback with a strong arm, can make things out of nothing. He'll fit in that scheme with Arthur Smith very well. So it's different ways the Steelers can go about it. I think, in my opinion, they should go with the center, add that piece, because the quarterback is hard to find. So instead of trying to reach and just keep drafting quarterbacks and keep drafting them over and over, how about you just focus on building everything else around? So you build the offensive line. The defense is already good, but you can add pieces to the linebacker position. Of course, you probably add a safety as well, strong safety, and see how things plan out. Bolster the offensive line up a lot. Maybe draft another receiver. Just have everything else around built up nicely. So if you do bring a guy in, maybe you bring in a veteran presence like Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins, or you go out there and say, we're going to trade our draft pick for Justin Fields, or do this or do that. Trade up in the draft and get a guy. Maybe you do that. You'll have the team already kind of set and already ready. So I feel like this team should just focus on, in free agency, focus on building around and building everything around, so it'd be already perfect or close to perfect. Nothing perfect, of course, but you need to get close to perfect. And so when the guy comes in and step behind center, under center, they'll be ready. Of course, Kenny Pickett is still on the roster. I haven't lost all faith in Kenny Pickett yet, but of course, if you want to compete with the best of the best, you got to go out there and get you a guy. You can't go out there and just get a jag or just another guy. You need that guy, the man. You need the man like that. In order to beat the man, you got to beat the man. You need the man to go out there. So you have to go out there and get somebody who is that guy. Like that. So you can't just have somebody who's just out there. Of course, his turnover numbers are low and all this stuff. You want to compete with the best of the best. The Joe Burrows, who's in our division. Lamar Jacksons. You want to compete with those guys. Even Deshaun Watson. Joe Flacco played better than Kenny Pickett last season. Deshaun Watson in those few games played better than Kenny Pickett last year. You want to compete with Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens. You got to get one of those type of guys. You can't have the guy you have right here. Mr. Rudolph showed us some good stuff, in the season. I wouldn't mind him coming back as well if we can't find anybody to be the kind of transition, that bridge like QB. But in my opinion, the Steelers gotta go out there and find somebody. Of course, Kenny Pickett, he's shown a little potential here and there, but it's just not enough. And I think we kind of reached probably drafting him in the first round. He turned 26, so he's already an older draft pick as well. So he's getting a little older and stuff. So I don't know if he's gonna emerge as the guy, but we'll see what happens. Of course, I'm not giving up fully upon him, but my faith in him is 10%. So it's almost done. So I thought the Steelers should go out there and find a quarterback who can go out there and help us compete at the highest level and stop holding our team down. We got a young core. We got Najee, we got Jalen Warren, we got Muth, we got Darnell Washington, we got George Pickens, who's an amazing receiver, who's averaging 16.9 yards per reception, which is the most since entering the league for him. Deontay Johnson out there, former Pro Bowler, as well. So we have a lot of pieces, a lot of great guys. The defense, TJ Watt, who's absolutely amazing. Cam Hayward, who's on the end of his career, but still got a lot of juice left. Alex Highsmith, who's in the prime of his career. Minka Fitzpatrick, same thing. JPJ. We have all the pieces. We're just missing that one valuable piece that's one of the most important pieces in all of football, and that is the quarterback position. So we go out there and fill that hole, fill that gap. You'll see a lot of things change. When you have that guy, you don't have to worry about hoping to win. You know you're going to win. When you have that guy, you ain't got to worry about the different gaps and the holes around your team, because you know he is good enough to get you over that hump. When Tom Brady was there, sometimes the offensive line might not have been the best. Sometimes the receiving core might not have been the best, but what happened? He got results done. Patrick Mahomes, offensive line wasn't the best that 1 year, got the Super Bowl. He fell short in the Super Bowl, but still got there. We seen last year, no receivers. What happened? Back in the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. This year, no receivers. What happened? Back in the Super Bowl again. Of course, he got Rashee Rice, their young rookie, who had 900+ yards in the regular season. He's been emerging more and more in the playoffs, but he still got it done. So sometimes when everything around not perfect, when you have that guy who is real good, who's one of the best, when you find that quarterback, it don't have to be perfect. He might be a little imperfect, you might be missing this position or missing that position, but as long as you got that person right there, you're going to find a way to get it done. So we got to find a guy like that. It's very tough to find. It's easier said than done. Of course, finding Big Ben, had Big Ben for so long, the success he had, the 2 Super Bowls, championships, and the 3 Super Bowl appearances, multiple AFC championship games as well. So having him was amazing, but we got to go out there and find another one of him, or find somebody better who will be better in the long run. We'll see what happens in the draft and free agency as well. Look out for the video today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.
Now, is this going to be a pop type music or a street music?